It isn't often that the Detroit Lions get great unexpected news, but in today's episode, we'll be talking about how they not only got great news, they got amazing news. Stay tuned, everybody. We used to be a team no one respected. We used to be a team no one feared. That was then. This is now.
First victory of the year on the line. Goff's got it. Back, looks, throws, end zone. Yes! Caught!
You know who we are.
10-5, end zone, touchdown Detroit Lions.
And you know where to find us. We won't be far. We'll be on your front porch waiting for you. We are the New Era Lions, and
we are driven by Detroit.
Hello everyone, and welcome back to yet another episode, a late edition episode of Motor City Mania MCM. I'm your host, David T. Pike, and with that, we're diving in. But before we dive on in, once again, I want to say thank you all to my loyal fans and subscribers, and also thank you to those that are tuning into my show for the very first time. You guys are absolutely amazing, one and all. I hope you all enjoy the content, and if I haven't earned your subscription yet, hopefully I earn it on today's episode. And with that, I just want to say everybody, God bless, hope you're all having a great day, and let's get into the show here. So, here's the thing, folks. Today's second episode is to talk about unexpected news that the Lions got. And this news is absolutely pleasantly good news. It's surprising good news. It's amazing news. Now, granted, I'm going to say this right now. Is the news exclusive to the Lions? No, it's not. But it is great news for the Lions nonetheless. What news am I referring to? I'm referring to the news that the NFL released a report that stated that the NFL salary cap was going to jump exponentially more than what was expected for this year. The Lions are supposed to have, at this point, $242 million, as was supposed to be the rest of the NFL. However, though, the NFL came out with a report and said that the NFL salary cap for each team was not going to be at $242 million. It was, in fact, going to be at $255.4 million. Now, I'm just going to say that right now. When you take a look at that number and you think about it, getting more salary cap room is always great news. But the reason why it is such great news for the Lions is because we have to take consideration of the fact of how much money was increased from the old original projection to the current final projection. Let's understand something here. According to ESPN, the jump from $242 million to $255.4 million, that is a 13.6% increase in 1 year. That is a humongous jump. In fact, it's probably, if I recall correctly reading somewhere, I think it's the largest single-year jump that the NFL has ever had. It's a $30 million jump from the previous financial year of salary cap. So that right there is great news just for the NFL overall. But the reason why it's such great news for the Lions is because you have to think about this, folks. Think about this for half a second. Prior to today's announcement of the salary cap increasing from $242 million to $255 million, the Lions, if I recall correctly, had about $50 million in effective cap space. They had a good amount of chunk of change. Here's the thing, though. If you increase that salary cap hit that the NFL gave, as far as, okay, now we're going to add another, $13 million on top of everything, think about this, folks. The Lions had that $50 million worth of cap space. Now they add that $13 million on top of it from 242 to 255. The Lions are now sitting at, according to Over the Cap, at $63.7 million of total cap space. That right there is a humongous amount of cap space. That is the most cap space that Brad Holmes has ever had as long as he has been the GM of the Detroit Lions. So that right there means something huge for us Lions fans. It means for once, Brad Holmes is actually going to have money to effectively try and pull off some pretty damn big moves if he wants to. Because here's the second part of that number. It's $63.7 million of total cap space. But if you also take a look at Over the Cap, the Lions have what is known as $55.9 million of effective cap space. Again, the difference between total cap space and effective cap space is simply saying that there is a certain amount of money that Over the Cap is already already predicting that is going to be set aside for the Lions draft class, which if you do the math really quickly, they're expecting that about $7.8 million to $8 million is going to be set aside for the Lions draft class right now. So that $55.9 million that the Lions have is set aside is for them to do whatever they want with, whether it's with signings, extensions, trades, whatever have you. So when you think about that, $55.9 million for the Lions to play with. That is absolutely unbelievable to think about. Now, here's the reason why it's unbelievable to think about, because it now means that the Lions have more than enough cap space to make sure that they can extend the players that they're trying to extend right now. They have the ability to extend Jared Goff. They have the ability to extend Taylor Decker. They have the ability to extend Amon-Ra St. Brown. They have the ability to set up a contract if they wanted to with Penei Sewell. These are all bits of news that are really crucial to the Detroit Lions. It allows them to have the freedom to make sure that, hey, we have money set up to keep the core components of our team that was so successful this year around long term. However, though, let's understand something here. In a previous episode that I talked about, I put the link to that episode back up at the top, I talked about how the Lions, according to some moves that Sideline Report had put out, could add $40 million worth of cap space. The Lions already took care of one of those moves by cutting Tracy Walker. That move freed up $5.5 million in cap space for the Lions. However, though, there are still 3 other moves that the Lions could use to get that $40 million that Sideline Report was talking about. They could still, in essence, cut John Kaminsky or, in essence, trade him. That gets another $4.6 million. Extending Taylor Decker and Jared Goff, that right there is going to increase another $31 to $32 million. I'm just going to put this out there, folks, just to give you guys a kind of like holy cow kind of moment. Think about this just for half a second. The Lions are currently sitting at $63.7 million of total cap space, right? That's what I just said. So, you take that $63.7 million that over the cap and the NFL has already given out to the Lions. Think about this. You take that 4.6 and add that. You take that 9.9 from Taylor Decker's reconstruction or extension. Add that. Then you take the other $20.9 million from extending Jared Goff. Add that. All that together, plus the $63.7 mil that the Lions currently have right now in total cap space, the Lions, if they were to do all those moves, would give the Lions $99.1 million of total cap space. Just think about that. Almost $100 million of cap space to work with for this offseason, for this year, if they were to cut or trade Kaminsky, extend Taylor Decker and Jared Goff, just for this year. At that point, you've literally now got a war chest of unprecedented amounts and proportions. That right there is going to be like, the NFL is going to be like, holy crap, what do we do now? Because now you're talking about a team that almost has $100 million worth of cap space. And oh, by the way, that team that we're talking about just went to the NFC Conference Championship game. Yeah, that's what I call a power play move. That is what I call a checkmate move. That is what I call, okay, NFL, it's time to meet the big bad Lions because we're coming out and we're roaring. That's why I'm calling this great news, amazing news, because if the Lions do exactly what we're talking about here, which I have almost no reason to doubt that they won't, except maybe cut or trade Kaminsky, you're still talking about anywhere between 95 to almost $100 million worth of cap space, folks. That is a literal war chest that I don't think any NFL team has had in a long time. That right there would set the Lions up for a literal number of years, because again, the Lions, there's no way they would spend that much money in one offseason. There's just no way. You could, in essence, roll that cap over multiple times over the next couple of years. Yeah, so this is a move that if the Lions were to make it, because of the news from today's news, you literally now have a domino effect, a domino theory that could, in theory, go down the road for multiple years. Yeah, that's why I call this great, amazing news. But anyway, folks, didn't want to take too long with this episode. It's not really a long episode, but it's a great episode, in my opinion, as far as information is concerned. But having said that, I think I'm going to end the episode so that way we can get a start on the weekend and I can get a start on some other episodes I got planned. But having said all that, I just want to say now, thank you all for watching in another episode of MCM Motor City Mania. I just want to say thank you all to everybody that tuned into the show. Thank you all for everything that you do. You guys are amazing. And I just want to ask you all to please do one of these three things. Like, comment, and subscribe. And hell, while you're at it, please do all three. With that also being said, I just want to say if you subscribed in the past and you forgot to do so at the time, or you just subscribed and not had a chance to do so, again, please subscribe. I'm absolutely thankful for every subscription I can get my hands on. But also, please make sure that after you do so, make sure you hit that bell notification icon at the bottom so that way you never miss any more content that I push out. Again, subscription numbers are always going up, but we want to make sure that we turn on the notification icon so that way as soon as I push something out, you guys can come right back to the channel. I also want to encourage y'all to please share the content with your Lions friends and family members. Share here on YouTube, share it on Twitter, share it on Facebook, share it anywhere and everywhere you can with everybody and anybody that you can. The more you share it, the greater the channel spreads, which means the greater the channel grows. And with that being said, I just want to say to everybody again, thank you all for watching the content. Absolutely amazing. I'm so thankful for each and every one of y'all. If you just became new subscribers to MCM, welcome to the family. I'm absolutely thankful to have you. If I still haven't earned your subscription, hopefully I'll get you on the next go around. But until that time, I just want to say to everybody again, God bless. Hope you're all having a great day. And until the next time we meet, I'll see y'all in the next episode.